Sanibel Island greets newcomers with a subtle sleight of hand. One moment, you are crossing the soaring, sun-dazzled causeway from the Florida mainland. The next, the road curves beneath cathedral-high cabbage palms, the speed limit sinks to 20, and somewhere in the salt-sweet air, your pulse slows to match the unhurried Gulf tide. Cars share lanes with beach cruisers, shop roofs peak no higher than the tallest mangrove, and every dusk brings the same hushed ritual, silhouettes bending. At the waist, in a Sanibel stoop, hunting seashells where silver water kisses alabaster sand, follow these 8 wonders, and you will understand why this slender barrier island, just 12 miles long, has earned a reputation for small miracles gathered in quiet corners. 1. Lighthouse Beach Park at Sanibel's southeastern tip stands. A 98-foot iron skeleton lighthouse, first lit in 1884. Its rust-brown ribs visible for miles offshore. The beacon still flashes each night, but the real glow comes at sunrise. When pelicans cruise inches above pewter waves, while anglers cast silver spoons from the wooden fishing pier, stroll the spiraling boardwalk through mangrove thickets alive with fiddler crabs and white ibis, and the lighthouse suddenly appears between canopy gaps like a time traveler from another century, keeping vigil over an ever-changing shoreline. 2. J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge, a brackish labyrinth of mangrove islands and tidal flats named for Pulitzer-winning cartoonist and conservationist J. Norwood Ding Darling. Drive or cycle the 4-mile wildlife drive in late afternoon, when golden light ignites the water and roseate spoonbills bubblegummed kink against olive marsh probe. For shrimp, besides statuesque great blue herons, pull over at the observation tower to scan for the uncanny upperscope snout of an American crocodile. Then paddle a kayak along Commodore Creek, where diamondback terrapins bask on roots like sun-drunk coins. 3. The Bailey Matthews National Shell Museum. Sanibel's beaches function as giant sieve nets, catching more than 250 shell species. Nowhere celebrates that bounty better than this airy museum, where glass cases display everything from translucent paper-thin jingle shells to the grapefruit-sized Junonia, prized grail of shellers. A touch tank introduces live mollusks, conchs, lightning whelks, leopard-spotted cowries, while marine biologists decode the artand engineering marvel of shell formation. Step outside, and you'll never again treat a seashell as simple souvenir. It becomes architecture, biography, an oceanic love letter in calcium carbonate. 4. Tarpon Bay Explorers. On the island's protected east flank, Tarpon Bay glimmers like jade milk under midday sun. Rent a stand-up paddleboard or join a naturalist dead kayak tours into Commodore Creek Preserve, where labyrinthine channels shade you beneath mangrove cathedrals hung with dangling root-like propellers. Shy yellow-crowned night herons lurk in shady alcoves, while schools of mullet shower from the water. Fleeing unseen predators glide silently enough, and you may hear a manatee exhale a gentle fuff like a snorkeler, clearing a mask before its gray bulk drifts beneath your board. Proof that enchantment here swims just below the surface. 5. Sanibel Historical Village and Museum. If Seychelles chronicle natural history, this open-air cluster of relocated buildings preserves the human side. A clapboard post office from 1901, a packing house where settlers once shipped tomatoes north by schooner, and Rutland House, whose breezy veranda overlooks a yard fragrant with frangipani. Costumed docents recount pioneer stories. Dairy cows ferried across Pine Island sound on barges. Steamships bringing ice blocks wrapped in sawdust for summer socials, and suddenly you realize Sanibel's current hush required strenuous devotion from those who fought mosquitoes, hurricanes, and isolation to call this sandbar home. 6. Periwinkle Way's bike, trail, and pockets of flavor. Sanibel boasts more than 25 miles of paved bike paths, and Periwinkle Way is the island's culinary backbone. Petaled beneath Royal Point sienna blossoms flaring scarlet, detouring for cinnamon-sugared croissants at the Island Bakery, or tangy Kilium sorbet in a cup frosted by Gulf humidity. Tiny boutiques hide behind sea grape hedges, selling watercolor maps and hand-poured seashell candles. Near dusk, veer onto a side lane perfumed by wood smoke, where a food truck plates blackened grouper tacos, drizzled with mango salsa, the day's catch, tasting of sunshine captured in citrus. 7. Clinic for the Rehabilitation of Wildlife. Crow, even paradise has casualties. sea turtles nicked by propellers, pelicans tangled in fishing line, raccoons orphaned by passing cars. CROW's modern hospital mends more than 5,000 wild patients each year, and its visitor center lets you Periwinkle one-way glacinta surgery bays, where veterinarians set osprey wings or stitch gopher tortoise shells. Interactive exhibits teach you how to fish with wildlife-friendly gear and what to do if a shorebird steals your bait. Leaving, you glimpse a rehabilitated bald eagle released against a cobalt sky, its whistling cry echoing across pine flatwoods, a reminder that stewardship travels home with you. 8. Captiva via the Blind Pass. Bridge Sanibel's northern tip funnels traffic across a narrow drawbridge into Captiva, its smaller but equally spellbinding sister isle. At Blind Pass, currents swirl turquoise and bottle green, luring anglers who shoulder 9-foot surf rods at dawn, hunting snook and redfish. Park roadside, crunch across shell-strewn sand and lose hours scanning for lion's paw scallops or Wentle traps turned up by restless surf. When evening settles, Captiva's sunsets arrive operatic, flamingo pink bleeding into molten tangerine, herons silhouetted like ink brush strokes. The glow backlights Sanibel's lighthouse down the coast, closing the circle on a day that feels both infinitely rich and elegantly simple. 8 wonders in 800 words, scarcely bottle Sanibel's subtleties, the dragonfly glitter above, freshwater ponds, the hum of cicadas that swells between afternoon rain showers, the hush that falls when leatherback turtles heave ashore to nest under starlight. Yet these places sketch the island's essential shape, a sanctuary where nature outvotes neon, where every tide auditions new treasures, and where slowing down is not escape but homecoming. Give Sanibel a day, and she scents your pockets. With salt, give her a lifetime, and you may still feel like you're discovering secret beaches drawn new each dawn.